This is PPC Zone, October 2024, Perfect PPC Pairings. I'm your host, Jill Saskin-Gales. I use the pronoun she and her. I'm a Google Ads coach, ex-Googler, and the founder of Inside Google Ads. I created PPC Zone in 2022 to elevate new perspectives and insights in our industry. PPC Zone is exclusively sponsored by Optimizer, one of the leading automation PPC management suites to help you run your Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and paid social ads. Thanks to Optimizer, I can continue to bring you this live global event for free each month so we can continue to elevate new perspectives and insights in our industry. If you haven't checked out Optimizer's latest study on Performance Max, please open a new tab right now and type in optimizer.com/blog. That's Optimizer, OPTMYZR.com/blog. You'll thank me later. Our final speaker in the zone today is a B2B Growth Specialist and a fellow ex-Googler. She's based in Dublin and now runs a consulting firm that creates elite sales strategies for women-led B2B companies. We're about to hear her explain how marketing and sales can be yet another perfect pair in your business's growth. Please welcome Solange Abraham.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Jill. I do indeed specialize in building B2B growth plans that save you time and make you money. I'm an ex-Googler, ex-Salesforce, and I'm an anxious little overachiever, but I'm coming at you today to talk about the lead to sales journey. Now, what I could tell you, right, is to spend thousands on a new CRM, building an inbound lead flow and connecting that back to Google Ads. But I'm not going to do that because the truth is most businesses don't actually need that setup. And I know we have that golden question of, but what about the attribution? But how do I then calculate my cost per lead? And to that I say, brace yourselves. It's really not that serious, okay? So throughout my career, I've seen a lot of lead generation cases where companies lost out on money because of what I call data paralysis. And this is where we're so focused on getting the exact numbers that it's actually preventing us from moving forward. And I do not want that to happen to you. So by the end of these 6 minutes, you're going to have a clear idea of what it looks like to optimize your lead gen strategy in Google Ads without making it a whole technical and financial to do. And that brings me to the first and most important question that you're going to answer today. And it's not on the slides, so pay attention. Do you fully understand your prospect's journey, right? Your prospect is going to be browsing websites, looking up reviews on YouTube and looking up videos. And if you're a B2B advertiser, likely your prospect isn't making the decision to purchase on their own, right? They're part of a team. And so the second question then becomes, how do I use Google Ads to help my prospect build a case for my product or service? How do I make sure that I have a champion in that room, right? And coincidentally, a lot of those steps that I just talked about actually take place on the ads platform: video, discovery, display, search, or in other words, awareness, consideration, and action. But how do you identify those channels and touch points? How do you attribute the right conversion rates? And how do you clarify the sales cycle? And most importantly, why are all of these things important? I'm going to show you in an example right here. Now, if you're looking at this slide and you're thinking this looks too freaking technical, bear with me, okay? We're going to go through this step by step. So what we're looking at is a very basic lead to sales journey here, okay? And at the top, we're looking at leads. Now, these could be, for example, engaged website visitors that are looking at more than one page and spent more than just 10 seconds on your website. In this example, this business is generating 4,000 of those leads every single month, all right? The next step would be a marketing qualified lead. These are leads that, in addition to browsing the website, have downloaded a white paper. So now we know a little bit more about them. We have a little bit of information. And what we're seeing here is a 5% conversion rate over 2 days. So in 2 days, 5% of those 4,000 leads become a marketing qualified lead. Okay, now that we know a little bit about who they are and what they want and that they're interested in what we have to offer, we move them over to becoming sales qualified leads. Now, these are leads that have had meaningful conversations with your sales team. And here we see that over a period of 7 days, 50% of those white paper downloads turn into sales qualified leads. And the end of the journey, the holy grail, is the closed deal. Okay, so in this example, we're seeing 25 deals per month close, which is a 25% conversion rate from those sales qualified leads. Now, how do you use this information, and what the heck does this have to do with Google Ads in the first place? Okay. As a business leader, when you look at this information, I want you to start asking questions. Why is our conversion rate from lead to marketing qualified lead significantly lower than the rest of the funnel? What would it mean for the bottom line, right? The amount of closed deals, if we were to double that conversion rate in the beginning from lead to marketing qualified lead. And so this is how you're going to start looking at where to optimize your lead gen process. Okay. More than that, what's really important is to attach values here, okay? And this is how we're actually going to tie it back to Google Ads. So to give you an example here, right? We're looking at a closed deal value of $3,200 in this particular example, right? If we then look at our conversion rate of 25% from a meaningful sales conversation to someone actually signing that contract, we can then determine by multiplying the deal value by our conversion rate that that lead is actually worth $800. Why is this important? Because we do this all the way to the front of that journey, right? And now we know that that first initial lead is worth $20. How do we translate this to Google Ads? We now know that our cost per lead cannot exceed $20 because down the line, that does not make financial sense. Ideally, it would be less than $20 because we don't want to continue to break even. We actually want to profit. And so this is how I want you to use this information to fuel your lead generation strategy. I want you to think about, how can I get a better, higher quality audience of website visitors, of engaged website visitors to my website? And how can I use the appropriate Google campaign to help me to do that, right? So now we're thinking about an awareness campaign, maybe a consideration campaign, right? How do I then make sure, if I see a gap in my marketing qualified leads, that I get more downloads? Because I need data. I need leads for my team to follow up on. Okay, what campaign do I use and what values do I attribute to that campaign to make sure that we get more of those high quality downloads so that I can have meaningful sales conversations and eventually close the deal? The last thing I want to touch on here is that that closed deal value is super important. Now, if you are a B2B advertiser, the chance is slim that it's a one-off purchase, okay? So here, I really want you to think about the customer lifetime value, because if you're signing a contract in which your client pays you $3,200 per month for 12 months, that significantly increases your closed deal value, which means you get more space at the beginning of that journey, right? Because your value per lead goes up. So you have more space to bid aggressively in the competition, in the auction, and make sure that you get more high quality leads into that funnel. Now, again, your business could look vastly different from this, right? But I strongly urge you to look at this model, not just for your Google Ads, but for your entire business, to figure out where the leaks in your funnel are, okay? Where can you optimize conversion rates? Where do I need more people to come into the funnel? How can I use this information to enable my sales teams and close more deals at the end of the funnel? Super important. So key takeaways here, right? Understanding your prospect's journey is crucial, because if we don't understand where they are, we can't meet them where they are, right? So we want to meet them at every stage of the journey. Furthermore, we want to visualize that funnel so that we can link it to the correct Google campaign types, the right messaging, right? The right ad formats. And we want to make sure that we link that to actual values. I want to look at the timeline. I want to look at my conversion rate, and I want to look at the volume of leads at each step of that funnel. You want to be getting comfortable with value-based bidding through the customer lifetime value, okay? The clearer we get on what the actual value of your closed deals are, the more accurate we get in our cost per lead and the more aggressive we can bid in that auction, okay? And the last one, which is super, super important, do not let perfect be the enemy of good. Because the pushback I get here is, oh, but we don't have the exact numbers. All I have are estimates. Use the freaking estimates, okay? Because using some type of data is way better than bidding blindly, okay? Do not get stuck in the data paralysis that I told you about. So that's me. That's all we have for today. My DMs are always open. I eat, leaf, and breathe this stuff. So if you ever want to chat, please do reach out, and I look forward to your questions in the Q&A.
Thank you so much to Solange for sharing her unique perspective and insights with us in the zone. If you'd like to connect with Solange Abraham, the link to her LinkedIn is right there. To learn more about PPC Zone and our speakers, or to apply to speak at an upcoming event, visit ppc.zone. I'm your host, Jill Saskin-Gales. You can follow me on LinkedIn to stay up to date on future events. And thank you one more time to Optimizer, our exclusive sponsor, for supporting our mission to elevate new perspectives and insights in our industry. I look forward to seeing you next time in the zone.